we talk. Oh, okay. I got to bring this. I got to bring this up because we've talked about this lady before, but she's really, just and that's
Russini.
Dianna Russini out at it again, man.
Mm-mm-mm.
With this nonsense, and it's true that this has been. Someone pointed out that this is the type of thing that happens when and they're kind of throwing Nick Sirianni under the bus with this, where it says, these attacks on Jalen Hurts in terms of what he cannot or cannot do and his limits and so forth, and people being unhappy, seems to come out when Nick Sirianni may not feel completely secure in his job. And because this isn't the first time, but you probably saw this. Dianna Russini came out again, and with this post, and of course she did yet another article, and she used there's no more guessing about whether AJ Brown is happy playing in the Eagles offense. He told the world he's miserable. And by the way, I can't find the one that I can't find the updated one that has it. I believe that actually got a community note, Ben,
Mm-mm.
because people are so fed up with her because they said AJ Brown literally never said that he was miserable. He said he was frustrated with the offense not playing well and him not being a part of helping it be better. The
Mm-mm.
man never said he was miserable. And then what you probably thought I was getting to, which I don't have in front of me, I was just trying to find, and that was the nonsense where she brought up about, again, with her and her anonymous sources in the Eagles locker room say that, how they're upset and frustrated with Jalen Hurts because he won't throw the ball in tight windows and all this other crap. But yeah, she's out of control, man. She's out of control.
Let me let
But
me say
I was
this.
trying to find that one
Yeah,
with Jalen Hurts.
because I mentioned this in one of the videos that I did, and this is where I think Nick Sirianni needs to get credit, man. This isn't anything that he hasn't faced before.
Yeah.
It's not like a lot of this chatter wasn't going on last year. That's where this guy, man. I feel like this locker room is fucking tight as fucking all get out, man. I feel like this locker room is tight as all get out. Tight to the point, CDS, listen to this. Tight to the point where they all can speak their piece, whether it's in the media or outside the media, and nobody takes too much offense to it.
Right.
They can all speak
Yeah.
their piece and nobody can take too much offense to it. Like,
Yeah.
there's like, all right, guys, you heard what AJ Brown had to say. Does he look like that in practice? No. Does he look like that in games? No. All right, let's move along, dude. Sirianni's good, man. Like he is a good CEO of this team right now. If this was like a Mike McDaniel coach, this is
Well,
the importance with all levels being somewhat. Dude, if this is Mike McDaniel as even the OC, I feel like there is an issue here. I feel like there is somewhat of an issue here. But it's not like that. I feel like all three levels have some type of control of their personnel, of their side of the football, to where it's just never going to get. It's never going to really spread. It's going to say contained, isolated. Talk about it, move on.
yeah, I mean, well, Mike McDaniel, and using that example again, we've talked about this before. Mike McDaniel is the guy that let Vic Fangio go because he was too tough on the guys. But I think that speaks highly of Nick in that point, and that's why I go so back and forth with Nick Sirianni, and I'm so conflicted because I think the positives that you're talking about with him, I agree, and I think that is so important in this day and age. Again, especially with the insane contracts that these guys get and the guaranteed money and all that. But I also, to be fair, I think that also speaks highly of. And again, this is probably partly Nick, but it also Howie in getting these guys that obviously are talented and can perform, but also bring that something extra to have that tight locker room that, like you're talking about, to not get torn apart by the nonsense that goes around on the outside by people like Dianna who are desperate to tear the team apart for whatever reason. Because I found this, and this is when I was talking about her latest, what's being said behind closed doors about Philly's offense. inside the Eagles building, a talented unit knows it's underperforming. This isn't just AJ Brown venting, and she goes on about
But now
how
they
the
are. Now the thing is, they are underperforming. Like
right,
so.
but she's now what she's gone done again with her anonymous sources is she's saying these anonymous sources, which are inside the Eagles locker room, they are trashing Jalen Hurts or blaming Jalen Hurts for all of this, saying that he's being too conservative and he won't throw certain balls and all this other stuff, and they're frustrated with Jalen Hurts. And I think it's a bunch of crap. I think this is Dianna lying again. That is my opinion, that most of her stories are lies. I've never had her see her have any of these explosive stories where she has any legitimate source that comes out and says any of this. She's just making stuff up.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
she's done it repeatedly.
I think she's just taking her observations and then trying to quantify it with a qualify it with an anonymous source
Well,
that
she
doesn't
even
exist.
did that. I don't know. I don't remember if we talked about this last week or not, or when it was. But she was going on and on about the AJ Brown stuff and anonymous sources, and this NFL GM says this and that, blah 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 blah. And then she goes on and she talked about it with somebody. I forget if it was a WIP or something. And you know what I don't even think she realized she outed herself. But when asked about this, she goes, "Well, just look at his Instagram talking about AJ Brown." So that was her source for the 87 articles she did in like a 3-day span about how AJ Brown's going to be traded and he's miserable and unhappy and all this other crap. And now she switched gears a little bit to try and throw Jalen Hurts under the bus.
Yeah, I could say the offense needs to play better and just put it under an anonymous source. I mean, there's no source there. So this is the thing. There's a lie in what she says that there's no source there, but the observation that she's making. I mean, at least the headline is. I mean, it's there, dude. It's plain as day. Offense isn't performing well.
Yeah, but that's not the basis of her article. The basis of her article is the locker room thinks it's Jalen Hurts' fault. The team thinks it's Jalen Hurts' fault. Jalen Hurts sucks. Jalen Hurts isn't doing these things, and the team doesn't like it. That is what she's saying.
Well,
It's
okay,
not just, oh, the offense is underperforming.
yeah,
That's the generic lead in.
but I'm sure. Let's just say there are people in that locker room that say let's just say the offense isn't performing well. There are people in the locker room that says the offense isn't performing well. They need to be assigning blame to somebody. You know what I mean? Somebody needs to get at least in their mind, whether they say it out loud or not. They need to be thinking something. Whether how they split up the pie in their mind is that's something that could be discussed. Does Patullo get 50%? Does Jalen Hurts get 35%? Does the offensive line get 15%? It's getting split up in their mind some way, shape, or form. The problem is that she's saying that she has sources that she doesn't have. I guarantee you there are people on that offense that are assigning blame to everybody. To everybody, it's not just one specific person who's getting blamed for this in their mind. If you think that nobody in that offense is saying Jalen Hurts is 15% capable, 50% culpable of this offense not performing, I don't know what to tell you, man. If you think they're all saying it's 100% on Patullo or 100% on Sirianni or 50-50,
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, be careful. You don't you're coming off sounding like a Diana defender, and that is not going to play
no,
well with the Philadelphia fan base.
I don't care because I'm not delusional. I mean, there. You're saying you think
Not either,
Hurts?
and I
Yeah,
100% disagree with her. 100%.
yeah. So you think
She's made this up.
nobody
She's
on the
flat out
offense
lying.
thinks Jalen Hurts has at least 15% culpability? 15%. I'm not saying majority. I'm not saying 45. I'm saying 15%. You don't think there's somebody in that locker room that says, "Man, he really should have thrown that ball," or "Damn, why isn't he throwing that ball?" or "Man."
I think that's
So you think
odd
the
and
you so you
completely
think the
irrelevant
so you
to
think
the
the
topic.
offense? What do you mean? The topic is I'm not. See, yes, she's making up sources. I agree with that. I'm on something different. If people in the locker room, do you think everybody in the locker room is happy with how the offense is performing? Yes or no?
Of course not. But
Okay. So where
what
do
I'm
you think?
saying is
So just
what I'm saying is
humans being
where you're
humans.
going
Do you think that they assign
is
blame?
irrelevant.
Humans being humans, do you think they assign blame as to these are the reasons why the offense isn't performing up to snuff?
I don't care.
Do you think that they think to themselves, these are the reasons why the offense isn't playing up to snuff?
I don't care. And my point being, what I'm
Well, you
saying
need to
is that
care because the
no,
reasons why is how you get the solution. If you need to, you find the root of the
no,
problem and then you
because
get
we're
solutions to it.
we're it's being going to a point that is absurd and irrelevant. And the easiest example, I'll give a non football example because it's
Dude,
the easiest.
I just think you never think Jalen Hurts is to blame for anything.
No, that's not it at all, dude. First of all,
Okay, so is he to is does he get
I've
any
been
blame? Does he get
I've
any
been
blame?
it's it's irrelevant because you're completely missing the point. It's absurd, it's stupid, it's delusional to say. And I'll give you a great example. That's like saying, hey, do you think anyone ever on the Chicago Bulls or the Los Angeles Lakers didn't like a shot that Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant
Yes,
took?
yes. The
Yeah,
answer
of
is
course.
yes.
Right, but my point is that's stupid. Like like what is the conversation there? What is the point being made? That is like so beyond absurd. I'm not even going to try and wrap my brain around that.
Okay, okay,
And that's where Diane is. She is not saying that somebody somewhere at some point didn't like a pass that Jalen Hurts saying. She is saying that the locker room is saying the blame for the offense underperforming is Jalen Hurts.
okay. Now,
That is what she
now,
is saying.
now
And
again.
she's making up
Now,
sources.
this is the thing. You think I'm addressing Dianna Russini? I'm not. I'm not addressing her. I don't.
Right,
I, I
but
don't
what
care
I've
what she
already
said.
just said is right, and that's what I just said to you. I don't care where you're going because it is equivalent to what
Okay,
I just
so I
said
don't care what she said.
about
You don't care where I'm going. Let's move to the next topic then.
I don't. My point being, just like it's
If you
absurd.
don't
That's
care
the
what I'm
point I
saying
just
and I
gave.
don't care what she's saying, then let's just move to the next topic. Neither of us care. She's making up
All right.
sources. I don't care.
I don't have anything else, man.